blessings, you won't need them when you're gone. It's cruel. You can't see it, you can't see it, even though it's cruel.
I've been having dreams, splashing in the summer stream.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really cracking open the source material on someone called Adisa Ogunleye, and specifically his pretty extraordinary transformation into, well, the sources call him the Guardian Holder.
Yeah, that's right. And our focus, our sort of mission today, is to unpack what these texts actually tell us about that change. You know, these different realities he seems to inhabit now, and what he actually does in each one.
Right. And the core idea, it seems, isn't just like a personal evolution. The sources frame it as a cataclysmic collision of realms. His whole existence is, well, split right down the middle across two very, very different realities.
Exactly. And the two are laid out quite clearly, the Metamon Matrix and the Earth Realm. And believe me, they sound worlds apart.
Okay, so let's dig into that split. First up, the Metamon Matrix. Based purely on these sources, what kind of place is it?
Well, it's described as utterly alien. It's called a realm of shifting knowledge. And here's the thing. Wisdom itself is a weapon there. The sources really stress that perception is a fluid, treacherous current. It sounds less like a physical place and more, I don't know, like navigating a state of being.
Wisdom as a weapon, that's...
Yeah.
Wow, that really jumps out, especially when you think about what the sources later say about the Earth Realm, when knowledge is often, ignored or even feared. How does Adisa operate there?
The descriptions are quite evocative. He moves with this ethereal grace. The sources compare him to a witcher, someone who's just perfectly attuned to this bizarre, dangerous environment. He's not just like getting by, he's actively bending the very laws of reality.
It's like bending reality, okay.
Yeah, it talks about him moving through endless corridors of living ink and echoing whispers, and the beings he encounters, they don't speak. Communication is via a raw, commanding presence. It's like a realm of pure information, pure will almost.
Okay, wow, so that's one half. The ethereal reality-bending half. Let's flip the coin then. The other reality he spans, the Earth Realm. What do the sources say about that world?
This one feels, well, much more familiar, obviously. But it's shown through this lens of sort of decay, maybe. It's a place where profound knowledge is feared. You see the immediate contrast with the Matrix, and where power is constantly challenged, corruption is mentioned, festering in the shadows. It's London specifically, but a London that feels precarious.
And Adisa here, not the ethereal Witcher type, but... the sources say a John Wick-like fighter. That's a pretty stark difference.
It really is, isn't it? On Earth, he's all about deadly precision, a warrior. The texts say he doesn't look for fights, but when they come to him, he executes it with chilling finalities. That warrior aspect just honed to this terrifying edge. Completely different feel from the guy navigating, living ink.
So how does someone get caught between these two states? The sources talk about the descent into the Metamon Matrix. Did he choose this?
No, the material is very explicit. It wasn't a choice. It was an inescapable summoning. Something just pulled him in. Seems like it was totally outside his control.
And the transition itself, London fractures around him. That sounds intense.
Oh, yeah. The description's really vivid. The city streets start pulsing with unseen alien movement, and then bang, he's ripped out of his reality and plunged into this void. It's not gentle. It's depicted as violent.
And this new place he lands in, maddening infinity, books that rewrite themselves, walls humming with voices. It sounds like it's designed to, well, break someone.
It certainly seems designed to overwhelm, yeah. And Metamon itself, it's not like a creature he sees. It's described as this palpable, overwhelming force, something that presses upon his very soul, like an immense psychic pressure.
There's that quote, too, the one that hits him not in his ears, but deep within his mind. It says, "You seek wisdom, but wisdom is not given, it is taken." That really hammers home the active nature of knowledge there, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It implies you can't just, passively absorb it. You have to seize it, wrestle it from the realm itself, maybe. And right away, he's thrown into these trials that warp his perception, challenging his sanity, his identity. The goal seems to be forcing him to see beyond illusion.
So this whole descent, these trials,
Yeah.
It's less like learning and more like being, reforged. What's the outcome? What does he actually gain from going through this crucible?
Well, through all that intensity, the sources say he learns to bend reality to his will, to actually manipulate the unseen forces that govern existence. He's not just coping with the Metamon matrix, he's starting to understand and use its fundamental principles. He's becoming, and I quote, something profoundly new, something terrifyingly potent.
But there's a catch, right? The sources mention a cost.
They do. Straight up says knowledge always demands a price in the Metamon matrix. Now, it doesn't spell out exactly what that price is for Adisa, but the implication is heavy. This power, this transformation, it cost him something significant, something he carries with him.
Okay, so he's fundamentally changed, forged in this realm of shifting knowledge. What happens when this terrifyingly potent person comes back to Earth, back to London? The sources call it the return to Earth, the Guardian's reckoning.
He is, as the sources put it, irrevocably changed.
Yeah.
And his return, it's interesting. London does not recognize him, but at the same time, it instinctively recoils in fear. It's like the city itself, on some level, senses the otherness he brings back.
And this amplified presence, it immediately attracts the wrong kind of attention. People already mixed up in darker stuff.
Precisely. The few who have dabbled in forbidden knowledge sense his amplified presence. They feel it like a tremor in their own corrupted souls. His very being disrupts their hidden world. And the sources specify it's the truly corrupted who step up and challenge him directly.
Confronting him, saying, you do not belong here.
Yeah, basically rejecting him, maybe recognizing what he's become, but his response, or rather his lack of response, it perfectly captures that Earthrealm persona we talked about.
He offers no reply.
Exactly. No words, no debate. He simply moves fast, precise, unrelenting.
It's just action, pure, direct action.
That's it. The battles aren't drawn out. They're described as brutal, efficient acts of elimination. The sources really emphasize he does not hesitate. He does not falter. Threats are just, neutralized before they can fully manifest. Their intentions snuffed out with cold, calculated force. It's that John Wick aspect, turned up to 11, lethal, final.
So with this dual nature, the reality shaping Sage from the Matrix, and the silent, deadly force on Earth, what's his overall role back in London, according to the sources?
He's positioned as like the last line of defense. The city is described as teetering on the brink of unraveling, a tapestry of chaos and Adisa. He stands as the solitary, unyielding force holding it together. He's the anchor against that chaos, working from the shadows incredibly effectively.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How certain experiences can completely reshape how you engage with different situations. You know, Adisa goes from navigating this realm of pure volatile information to being this silent, brutal protector. It highlights how the context really dictates which part of your transformed self needs to come forward. Are there times maybe in your own experiences where you need that adaptable, subtle Witcher approach versus a direct, decisive John Wick response to a clear threat?
Right. And that point about knowledge being feared on Earth but being a weapon in the Matrix, it really brings up questions about power, doesn't it? On Earth, maybe knowledge is dangerous because it threatens the status quo, the existing power structures, but in Metamon, it is the power structure.
So wrapping up this deep dive then, we've looked at Adisa Ogunlai's transformation, this inescapable summoning, the cataclysmic collision of realms, turning him into the Guardian Holder. We've seen his split existence in the Metamon Matrix. He learns to bend reality, but wisdom costs something.
And then back on Earth, in London, he's this brutally efficient, silent force fighting corruption, holding things together. That descent changed him fundamentally, made him incredibly potent, terrifyingly so, maybe.
Yeah, and his role in London seems absolutely crucial, that solitary figure preventing total chaos.
Well, the source material leaves us hanging a bit, doesn't it? It ends with this unsettling idea that the abyss he touched, the Metamon Matrix, never truly releases its hold. It still calls to him, described as a silent, persistent siren song. And it hints pretty strongly at further transformations and deeper trials to come.
So what does that really mean for someone? When an experience that profound, maybe that terrifying, keeps pulling at you, even when you're back in the quote-unquote real world, what other changes could that persistent call lead to? That's definitely a question these sources leave you chewing on.